Dudes Who Bet Sports.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Dudes Who Bet Sports. Welcome back to another Thursday college football round one playoff edition right here today. Papa Dude, how we doing? Are you ready to rock?
I am fantastic. Hey, listen, I went out to the Joplin Greenhouse and Coffee Shop this morning.
Yes, I've heard of it.
I haven't been out there in a while. One of the hidden gems here of Joplin. Had a cinnamon roll latte.
Well, that's the best drink in the world. Yes.
Wow. That was fantastic. Have you had, wait a minute. I thought you quit going there because Heather it's not hot enough.
No. I probably
You
have
still
I've had 3 of those this week, maybe, I would say.
The cinnamon roll?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever gone, I'm sure you have, when they put it in that big old cup, not a plastic cup, like a big ceramic cup.
If you drink it there, yes.
Well, I've drank stuff there before, but they've always put it in a cup, like a Starbucks
You
cup.
get it not to go. If you get it for there, that's what they put it in.
Oh, I've got it to go there. But anyway, long story short,
Oh, boy.
they pile that thing full, you know.
I know. Yeah.
Yes, Kevin.
We're off to a great start. Go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry, but
Well, what were you going to say? Go
okay,
ahead.
they pile it so full, and then you got to carry it back to where you're sitting without spilling it.
Yes. Yep.
Very difficult.
But they
Right?
probably didn't they give you a little saucer?
That makes it even harder to carry.
Okay, fair, but it catches it if you spill a little bit.
Yeah,
of
but
it.
you don't want to be a pig, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I agree.
And we sat over there on the couch, you know where the couch is.
Yep. I do.
Well, the next time I'm not sitting that far away from where you get it because you got to take little baby steps to get over there without spilling it.
Yes.
And I had to carry 2 of them, not at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
It was hard, but I did.
It's so the place he's talking about, it is I would say it is the best coffee place I've ever been to.
It's really cool.
And it's a greenhouse, and inside the greenhouse is a coffee shop, but it's not just coffee either. It's got all kinds of stuff.
No.
So, like, you know, my uncle and cousins and you know, niece and brother there for you, they get milkshakes from there.
Yes.
And they're just as they're great. So yeah.
Well, they got little sandwiches and they've got little desserts,
Yes.
and it's it's a mom and pop. It's not a chain, Kevin.
No, not a chain.
What it is, they're really smart. They have a
Every
great greenhouse with flowers everywhere, but you don't sell flowers all year long. So they put the coffee house in there for the off season, and the place is packed.
Yep.
And it's really cool.
Yep. Every person I have ever brought there, it's their favorite place.
The person I was with today said, "This is really cool."
Yeah. So my buddy, our buddy Stillman, Ryan Stillman, he talks about it all the time, even now that he's back home. Yeah.
Anyway, that's that.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we go.
Now, do you want to talk about the drones? You want to
Let's
save
save
that for the last?
because that's a good teaser. Let's save the drones for the
All right.
last, because we want to hold the audience today as much as possible. We will now. Listen, we didn't go viral, but we should have over the plane crash last week, and so that was a very popular segment, very heavily debated, talked about, all of that.
What constitutes a plane crash?
Correct. And so, but this week we will talk about the drones, but we'll do it at the end, like we did with
Okay.
plane
All
crash.
right.
I do want to mention congrats on John Mateer. So John Mateer does go to Oklahoma officially. Boy, what a wild story. I don't know if you're up on the whole story of what happened. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Wild.
Yeah.
Wild stuff.
Well, you know, everybody's been worried about. Well, first of all, if you're an Oklahoma idiot, like so many people are, they've just been obsessed with. They've got to get this guy. They got to get this guy. And he played it to the hilt, man. He didn't enter the portal till late.
Yep.
He had everybody just worried to death. And then he comes down there, and then the word comes out that Belichick and Tom Brady have called him.
Yep.
So supposedly OU brings out the big dogs, and they have Baker Mayfield call him.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know whether that's true or not. It probably is. And supposedly Baker convinced him to stay at OU or sign with OU.
Well, I think the money
I
substantially
think
went
that
up as well.
probably was it.
I don't think it was a
Maybe
call for Baker
donated
Mayfield.
a little bit. What do you think?
I think so. Yeah, he definitely got a raise twice yesterday, one after Miami and then one after North Carolina. It sounds to me like the North Carolina situation was, hey, he's booked a flight and he's heading there.
Yeah, that's right.
Unless you do something.
That's right.
Yeah.
And how would you like to be that kid, and Tom Brady calls you?
Crazy stuff.
When they hired Belichick, I forgot. He's got some pretty well-known people that can help him recruit, like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Gronk.
Yeah.
I mean, those are pretty big names, and nowadays that would have been illegal back in the past, but now anything's legal. So
yep.
I forgot Belichick's got some pretty good things going on there. So
yeah. Yeah. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. It is wild out there right
crazy
now. I mean, this stuff is out of control.
Out of control.
The rumors were Jackson Arnold got $2.5 million to go to Auburn.
Yeah. And he's really got the stats to back that up, doesn't he?
What are these guys getting? Like, what did John Mateer get yesterday? I mean, crazy.
You get $2.5 million and you're run out of the place where you were at.
Pretty much.
And you had every chance in the world to make it, and you just didn't do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when the football coach gets fired and he has the buyout and he makes more money with the buyout than he does doing his job.
Yeah.
So it's argued. I bet you Jackson Arnold's making more at Auburn than he did at Oklahoma.
I would think there's no doubt. And that's after proving, like you just said, nothing. Like, if anything, showing people he's not near as good as what they thought.
Yeah. He looks good in the uniform, but that's about it.
Again, I think what we learned, he's a tough kid. He is. He kept involved. He kept trying. All of that stuff. So you got to where you kind of. It was hard to like him because he didn't really produce much on the field, but you did kind of like him in some ways,
Well, and again, he didn't. He's getting kind of a raw deal because of all the injuries and the offensive line problems and the lack of a scheme. And you can't blame him for taking the money, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. But if that's true, it's just insanity. I'm just wondering when Mateer came in there yesterday, or whatever I guess was yesterday, and you just wonder. What donor did they call to say, hey, can you fork over a quick $1 million so we can get this guy? Because we're going to go 5-7 next year.
I don't know. I really don't know. And how would it have gone if they don't get him? And I think,
my God, it would have been Panic City.
Yeah, schools are feeling this. And OU got kind of got out of that, but not every school's gotten out of that. And I kind of agree with Mike. I agree. Good for Jackson Arnold.
Well, sure.
And then what is Auburn doing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And, they were talking, I'm sure you heard the podcast because we both listen to the same one. Yeah. Very good point. Here's another thing that's going to happen. You got schools like Wazoo, like Washington State.
Yeah.
25 kids have left the portal. They lost their offensive coordinator. The head coach left.
Yeah.
What about schools like this? It's going to have a rip. It's it's hard on everybody.
Yeah.
But you got a program that's trying to build. You're trying to build it up. You can't do it anymore because you're going to lose. They don't have the money to pay their players.
Yep.
That's why something's got to give. That brings me into another thing. Why in the hell would Barry Odom go to Purdue?
I don't know.
They're never going to win there.
I think he would be better off where he had a better job where he was at. Yeah.
Which one is Rob the one that's Purdue coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. They're not going to win in football. They're not. Not in this present society. Not in any society. They never have.
Well, hold on. Not even it's yes, all of that's true. However, in today's era, who's better positioned, Purdue or UNLV?
UNLV.
Because now that team can make the playoffs, so UNLV can make the playoffs and at least have a chance. So you're right. I would rather be at UNLV.
40 million. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, and that's probably why. But I think UNLV could be in a position to, if they were to win and make the playoff and make stuff like that, he could probably get that there. So
yeah, and he can win consistently there.
yeah,
Best he's going to do Purdue. He may win 9. That's it.
Well, and Dennis and I were talking about this earlier in the week privately. He was saying Kentucky people want Mark Stoops ran out of Kentucky, and Kentucky and Purdue is going to be pretty similar football wise.
Absolutely.
You are going to be able to, if you're a great coach, you can get the program to eight or 9 wins, but you're never going to hold it. Nope. And so what's going to happen is you're a hero when you get up there, and then inevitably it'll fall back down, and then you might be able to get it back up again. But during that fall, everybody will run you out because yourself set the expectations to another level, that's not attainable year after year out of school like that. Yeah.
And it's amazing what Matt Campbell has done at Iowa State. He's kept it they'll dip a little and then they go back up, but he's another guy. I just don't, he must love it there. That's the only thing I can think.
Here's the deal. If Matt Campbell has 2 years where they have a losing record, people are going to get restless. Ask Darren McCarty. That's what happened to him at Iowa State. He was the greatest coach to ever live, and then they ended up firing him. So,
guys, it's like Barry Switzer, and I always quote Barry Switzer so much. There are some schools you ain't going to win a national championship at. Forget it. It's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
You watch Indiana, I'll bet you they drop.
So apparently Odom contract has agreements for NIL finally getting to football. So that's good.
Shit.
Carr probably makes a good point. Maybe you want to be there because they do hold the power. They could pull the rug out from underneath. I could see that happening. Although it sounds like we're leaning towards an expanded playoff. So I think more than likely they're still going to leave that aspect of that one school getting in, but I don't know that for sure. It's hard.
I don't either.
Nobody does.
That's supposed to be some big new thing, July 1st or something.
Right.
It's going to change everything. Yeah. But it's a joke right now.
Yes, it is. All right. Well, let's get to it. Let's get to the joke of these games. I'm just kidding. The game should not be a joke. Should be fun. All right, it's what we've been clamoring for. We finally got it. The college football playoff opens up Friday night. We'll start Friday night. We'll talk about the battle for Indiana. It's Indiana and Notre Dame here at Notre Dame. Notre Dame 7-point favorite. All right, who you got?
Well, I just don't think Indiana is good enough. I think they should be in the playoffs, no question about it. I just think Notre Dame's a little better than we're giving them credit for. This is one I feel pretty good about. I'm taking Notre Dame to cover this. I can see them maybe blowing them out.
I am with you. I've got Notre Dame to open this thing off. I think they get the job done. I think they cover. I am not a believer in Indiana as far as I think they're a good team. I don't think they're this kind of level.
I'm not knocking them at all. Mm-hmm. They won every game they were supposed to win, and that's something some other teams, Alabama, Mississippi, didn't do. Indiana did it. They took the advantage of winning with a weaker Big Ten schedule. Mm-hmm. They deserve to be in the playoffs. I just don't think. I think Notre Dame's a little bit better than what people are giving them credit for too.
Yep. No, I agree. I think Notre Dame gets it done here. I don't see them losing this game. I think they cover. No. Let's go to Saturday. In the Big Three on Saturday, we'll start SMU and Penn State. Penn State an 8.5-point favorite here. Most everybody's on Penn State. Will there be an upset, or will the Nittany Lions move on?
I think the Nittany Lions will win. That 8.5's a little sketchy for me. I don't think I have the guts to pick them at the 8.5. I just think SMU is a little underrated, maybe. And Penn State has trouble scoring sometimes. I don't know. I do think Penn State is a little better than we give them credit for as well. Mm-hmm. And, this is a game people say, well, Franklin can't win a big game. It's usually a big game against a very good team that they can't beat. Mm-hmm. SMU is not a very good team. If forced to pick it, I would go ahead and take Penn State and the 8.5 because I can see them maybe pulling away late and adding something on there to cover. I think this will be a decent game, though.
This is a stay away game for me as far as the spread is concerned, because I think the numbers a tad high, but I also don't have a ton of faith in SMU either. I think
they
Penn
got a
State,
good defense.
that's the problem. I think Penn State wins the game. I'm not overly concerned about Penn State winning. I think it could be by 7 or less, though. I think they could hang around. I think they could make a game of it. So that's kind of the flip side of not wanting to take 8.5. If it was 6.5, 5.5, maybe I'd take Penn State. I don't know. I could see 27-20 in this game, or 24-20, something like that.
Yeah.
I do think Penn State's better, though. If you made me take a side, I would take Penn State minus the 8.5. But I would rather play. I'd rather play like money line or something, but you're probably not going. I mean, you're not going to get it before the game. Maybe during the game you could get it, but anyway. All right, we're both on Penn State though to actually win it. All right, interesting one here. Clemson, big upset win of the ACC. It looked like they were dead, and they've come back to win it. They take on Texas here at Texas. Biggest point spread here, Texas minus 12. Who you got in this one?
Well, I'm tempted to take Clemson. I am. Let's analyze Clemson a little bit. Are they going to be afraid of anything? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to be intimidated, because they've got that swagger about them. They've lost 3 games, but it's Clemson. They've won some national championships in recent years, so they're not going to be scared. Texas offensively, can't Clemson slow them down? I think they can. If you like Clemson at all, you better take the under. I think that has to go under for them to win. Yeah. But I think it could go under. Texas has not scored a lot of points down the stretch.
No.
Don't you think they can hold them to 24?
I think I'm going to take Clemson in the points.
You're going to go ahead and think they can cover 12.
I think Clemson covers 12.
Okay.
I
think it's too high.
I don't think Clemson's very good in terms of this kind of game. I don't think Texas is all that good in terms of this type of game. And so that's kind of my thing. I think 12 is a little too much. I'm going to take Clemson plus 12. I do think Texas wins. I'm not smelling any kind of upset here.
No, I'm with you. But don't you think it's realistic to think that Clemson can hold Texas to 24?
Yes.
Okay, so if you think Texas is going to win and you realistically think Clemson can hold them to 24, you got to bet the under.
I would think yes. I think the under is a really good play. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
I think I think they can stop them if they don't turn it over. Give them points. And the Clemson quarterback has been playing better. So I just don't see a high-scoring game here. I think that total's a little high because Texas has not been scoring.
Yeah.
And they're not that good on offense. They're just not. So that's why I think I would probably play the under if I'm going to. But I'm like you. That 12 points is a lot. When you're playing a team like Clemson, and I don't care what anybody says about Dabo, he'll have them ready to go. I still say he's a good coach.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They're not going to be afraid of Texas. They're going to go in there as this 12-point underdog, and they're dangerous.
To be clear, because I've been critical of Dabo, it's not because I don't think he's a good coach or it's just like I don't think he is going under this new regime, this new era of college football. I don't think he's going to have the players unless he changes. So, but yeah, I don't think this Clemson team is very good. I really don't. But I'm with you. I do think they will go in there and play them hard. Like I said, they're not going to be afraid. They're going to be able to kind of contain them a little bit, I think. I mean, I think they'll make a game of it. Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe we just hate Texas. But I'm with you. I don't think offensively they're just this explosive team, and I think that'll keep it close.
Quarterback problems. I don't care what anybody says.
I would agree. I would definitely agree. All right. Last one, and it is Tennessee and Ohio State. And it's Ohio State that's a 7.5-point favorite in this one. Of course, last time we saw Ohio State, they were upset by Michigan. Do they rebound here against Tennessee? What do you think?
Easiest one on the board for me.
Okay.
Tennessee and the points.
Do you think
I don't get this one?
Do you think we're going to see an outright Tennessee victory in this
I
game?
would not be surprised.
Okay. Yeah. I have Tennessee plus 7.5.
Defense. Okay. If Michigan can go in there and beat Ohio State and stop them like they did, Tennessee's better than Michigan defensively. And their quarterback has been playing better. I cannot pick Ohio State 7.5 with Will Howard as the quarterback. I can't do it. They may win the game. I don't think I got the guts to pick Tennessee outright because they're a little challenged offensively. They ain't going to be afraid. Not one bit. And you're not going to bully Tennessee around Ohio State. So if you think you're going to, you better be able to throw the ball or you're not going to score much on them. And Heupel has done a masterful job with the young quarterback. They're not as wide open as they've been in the past. He knows his defense is really good. If they don't turn it over, they're going to stay with them. He knows that. I think this could be an upset. I do.
Yep. I took Tennessee in the points as well. I think we could see it upset in this one. I think it should be more like 3.5, 4.5. I really do. I even if Ohio State wins that game, of course, maybe they're not matched up together, obviously, but they'd be an easier team. But even if Ohio State wins that game against Michigan, I view Tennessee and Ohio State pretty similar. I think it'd be a toss-up. And
I do too.
Give them 3.5 points for being at home. I get that, but 7.5, I just don't think so. I don't think so.
Tennessee's good. They are solid. They're not great offensively, but he kept getting better. He can make throws. The key's going to be, can he make plays when you have to have them?
Yeah.
If he can make a couple of big plays, I think their defense shuts Ohio State down. I really do.
I do too. Nick, this is funny. Nick said they should have had SMU 12th, so SMU could have played Texas, and then Indiana plays Notre Dame. I actually thought they might do that because
me too.
That would have been kind of a cool thing for SMU and Texas to play. They didn't end up doing it, but I actually thought the same exact thing as well. So,
and it would have been legit.
Yeah, no, I mean you could, because Clemson could have. Hey,
Clemson beat them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so it would have been. But see, that's something the basketball committee does.
Right.
They kind of line those matches up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
not so much here. All right. Well,
it should be fun.
We pretty much agree on most of these. That could be bad, but
yeah. I think the point spreads are interesting. None of them are real close.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting as well. But the only one that really surprises me is this Tennessee-Ohio State game. I thought that would be a more level playing field as far as the point spread. I thought that'd be 3.5, 4.5, something like that.
Well, it might be a little more interesting too if it was seeded right, because a couple of these teams should be number 3 and number 4.
That's true. Yeah.
And then that evens things up a little bit in these games. So you can argue who should be 3 and 4, but the two teams that are 3 and 4 should not be.
I think based on the year, based on history, all this, I think Texas should be a double-digit favorite at home. So I get that one. The Penn State game is spot on so much that I don't want to bet it. So
it's close.
Indiana, Notre Dame, I think that's reasonable. I don't look at any of them and think that's crazy, except maybe for this Ohio State one. I think
it should be a little closer.
Yeah. All right. Any other bowls coming up like this week that you want to talk about?
I'm just going a day at a time on the bowls.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got kind of a dog tonight. I got him here somewhere.
Okay.
Georgia Southern, Sam Houston, who cares? Ohio, Jackson State tomorrow night, Jacksonville State, who cares? Tulane in Florida, that's kind of interesting. That's tomorrow.
Okay. Any thoughts?
That's spread, but Tulane is slumping. I like Florida in that game.
Like Florida? Okay.
Yeah, don't you?
I haven't even looked at it. So.
I know. I'm just
I
looking
don't
at it
care.
right now. There's nothing. Then you go till the 23rd, and you got nothing. And then your favorite, though, in Honolulu, you have South Florida and San Jose State on Christmas Eve.
Yes. Now that one is one I've looked at, believe it or not.
Oh, really? Well, that's a
yes,
really
because I wanna. That's my game. I'm taking San Jose State in that one.
Okay. Then the day after Christmas, you have 3 games: Pittsburgh and Toledo. Whoop-de-doo.
Mm-hmm.
Rutgers and K-State. Just because K-State used to be in the same conference as me, I could easily kind of have some interest in that. I don't know if they ought to be a 7-point favorite.
I don't know.
Do you?
I have no idea. I don't know who's playing and who's not. That's the problem. Like I haven't looked into
any of these games.
That's why I don't have the desire to bet these games when there's so much other stuff.
Well, it's like tonight. I was scratching around looking for something to put on the best bet page, and Georgia Southern, Sam Houston. I wanted to pick Sam Houston. I couldn't figure out why they're like 6-point underdogs when I entered. I thought they should be favored, actually. Well, the strength of their team is their defense. 6 starters are either not playing or they're in the portal.
There you go.
So that's why the line. You really got to look at this stuff closely. Last night I got UNLV over California, and there was 2 sides to play there. UNLV had lost their coach, but their quarterback was back.
Yeah.
And Cal's was not. So I went with UNLV. I think they were 4-point favorites. They won by 11. And that was the reason. So you got to really look before you. There's one right there. Next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way Oklahoma's going to beat Navy.
I don't think so either.
No. Navy, first of all, if Navy plays like they did against Army, they're going to kick the shit out of Oklahoma. Oklahoma has no offense at all.
Well, so the problem, I think, honestly, Navy is a horrific draw because they run an offense that's you need to really prepare for, and we're not carrying.
Well, our best defensive players aren't playing, right?
B, and that's the big one. Normal school has a bunch of opt-outs. Navy's not. They're going to all play.
Playing.
Yes, and they all want to win and care.
Oh,
so.
You don't think they're ready to go in and kick Oklahoma's ass? They don't care what it is.
No.
They'll get to 10 wins.
Yeah.
They beat Army.
Beat Army and Oklahoma to end the year. Yeah, pretty.
Yeah, I think they're going to be ready.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's worrying about John Mateer next year.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
They don't have any. Stutzman's not playing.
No.
So you need every defensive guy you got with experience going into this game against the triple option, and you don't have it. And you got you have no quarterback, you have no receivers, and you have no incentive.
No,
it's a bad situation.
You
4-point, take Navy, guys.
when that popped up, because I was thinking, we heard different teams that we might play, and it's like, well, they might beat them. And then when Navy showed up, I literally was like, oh, that is just the final piece of a disasters of a season because you're going to get the one team that's going to, other than them and Army, that's going to care about the game,
Yeah.
And we drew one of them. That's
yes, it's and that was before they played Army.
Yes,
I was thinking that, and then I had the opportunity to watch all that game this year. They kicked the crap out of them.
Yeah,
they really looked good.
Like, why couldn't we have drawn Washington State?
Exactly.
And that's what I was saying. Like, we were rumored to play this team or that team or whatever. And I was like, oh, well, they may have problems in this or that. Even, Arkansas, Texas Tech. I don't know how much Texas Tech has lost, but everybody's in the same boat where Navy is not at all.
That game's kind of interesting, Texas Tech and Arkansas.
Yeah, but again, Arkansas's lost 25 players. Yeah, so it's.
Yeah, Arkansas. Yeah, they've lost everybody.
Yeah,
and
I'm just scrolling down here now. Yeah, we'll get into these next week.
The USC Texas A&M game's interesting.
I can't know. Like
I know you don't know who's
In
playing.
the old days, that's a very interesting game.
Yeah.
When everybody's playing in it. Oh yeah, that's a fun matchup. Now it's like it's a spring football game for these teams.
One prediction has come true about when they expanded the playoffs. The bowl games are nothing. But that's one of the reasons why. The other reason is no one cares to play in the bowl games.
It's not just the bowl games became irrelevant when the transfer portal started.
Yes.
That's what it is more than anything. Yes. I mean, because last year the bowl games were nothing either,
you had a few more teams sprinkled in there that were pretty good.
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like the lack of good teams you could bring out is a problem. But again, I will say, look, I will sit there and say this: a full strength, let's say a no transfer portal Oklahoma versus Navy. That's not that bad.
No, that's interesting.
Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt. That's not bad. Texas Tech, Arkansas. That's an old rivalry. I mean, USC A&M. That's a good day of football, but it's not with what it is now.
No. And, we were talking about this last week, and when we were talking about the portal and what's wrong with college football and everything, and I think it was you said they got to have they're going to lose money if they don't play in a bowl game.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know what? You're under contract. I don't care if you sign a contract or not. You're getting paid.
Right.
That should be in there. You don't play in a bowl game, you get a cut.
Yeah.
But it has to be a rule everywhere. That has to become a rule. There's no excuse. If you're getting paid to play, that's your job. Mm-hmm. These kids need to start looking at this. Guys, you're not a college student anymore.
Right. Yeah.
You are a paid employee.
Yep. So you have
Therefore, if you don't do your job, you don't get paid.
Yep. Yep.
You're not a little prima donna asshole. You are our employee. And that's got to start being the rule. This is a good game, Iowa and Missouri. That's a good
I mean, you look at you say, the playoff ruined the Bowls.
Oh, this game.
BYU versus Colorado, that'd be a good game if everybody was at full strength.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
but am I wrong? These kids are getting treated like they're still college kids. No, they're not.
Yeah, exactly.
I say you don't get a scholarship. Okay. Come to school, you're getting paid.
Yeah.
You pay for your schooling. Tough shit.
You keep scrolling down. Alabama, Michigan. What's wrong with that? I see games on here that I think would be good, but
but you don't know who's going to play. South Carolina and Illinois. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Duke, Ole Miss. Anyway. I mean, there's games.
There are.
But all right. Well, let's go to the NFL. We'll go through it now. And then
the NFL's getting kind of interesting now.
It is. And again, listen. The drones to end the show. Make sure to stay. We've got breaking news, and this is true. This is true breaking news on the drones to end the show. All right, Broncos go on the road to take on the Chargers tonight. A huge game.
Back to the drones. I neglected to mention. I don't know how much I'd had to drink when I saw these.
Breaking news coming up in about 20 minutes on the drones. Breaking news coming up. All right. Broncos and Chargers kick it off tonight. Really big game.
Yes, it is.
Both teams probably still going to make it, even the losers probably still going to make it. But I think the Chargers really need this one more than the Broncos even. Chargers are 3-point favorites. Who you got?
I think this is really going to be a good one. Before last week, I would have taken the Chargers, but oh my goodness, they got steamrolled. Mm-hmm. By Tampa, which we'll talk about in a little while. I'm very tempted to take Denver. Denver's playing pretty well, but I don't know if you saw that. I'm sure you did. What Indy did, it was so dumb in that game. Did you see what happened?
Oh, yes.
They were going into what, be 20-7?
They were going. The game was over, and the idiot dropped the ball.
Right?
Yep.
And he dropped the ball on purpose before he got it to the end zone.
Yep.
What is wrong with these guys?
Idiots. These are pros. And that was an experienced pro player.
A really great player, too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not some little jackhead rookie that's trying to show off. No, this guy's been around. This is not like him.
Yep.
And so he drops the ball before he gets in the end zone. He ends up going through the end zone. It's a touchback. Instead of being ahead 20-7, Denver gets the ball, scores, and ends up 38-13 or 38-20 or whatever it was.
Yep.
So you got to kind of take that into consideration.
Yep.
But they took advantage of it. I ain't beating around the bush. I'm going Broncos tonight
Right.
because I like the Broncos.
I'm going to go the Chargers. I'm going to go the Chargers tonight.
I don't like the way they played last week.
I don't like the way the Broncos played either. They got lucky that Indianapolis just imploded on them.
Well, they
were
did,
going to get beat.
I know. They're 9-5.
Oh, I know. Listen, hey,
and don't they end the season with Kansas City?
They do. Yep, they do.
Wonder who they got next week.
It's not easy. I don't. Here.
So they got 3 tough games left.
Yeah, I can't remember who it is. They've got at the Bengals on the road.
Ooh, they could end up 9-8 really easy.
So that's my kind of worry with them. Now the Chiefs game, who knows what the motivations will be, anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, here we go. Let's go to Saturday. Let's go to the Texans and the Chiefs. Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites. Kind of sounds like Mahomes is going to play in this game. I don't know that for sure.
How many times have we heard Mahomes is hurt? He's not.
I know, and he plays. Yeah.
So no one is saying, right?
Not really. The line kind of tells me he's playing.
I think so too.
Yeah.
What do you think about? They have a 2-game lead in the home advantage.
Mm-hmm.
If they finish tied with Buffalo, the Bills get the home field because they beat them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are thinking because they play Christmas Day, which is Wednesday, so they're playing Saturday and then Wednesday, they ought to rest Mahomes in this one and have him ready for the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
The Chiefs may be thinking, let's beat Houston and then we'll rest him.
Yeah, could be.
Against the Steelers.
Yep.
I think he plays all 3. Well, he won't play the last game if they've got it wrapped up.
Yeah.
I think they beat the Texans without him. What do you think about that?
I don't think so.
They don't have just a dog as a backup.
No, I know. Yeah, but I don't think so.
I'm taking Kansas City. I think they're going to beat Houston.
I think Houston's been really disappointing this year, and that people may go, well, they're 9-5. I thought they'd be a little better. I think they're just kind of like they were last year, good, but not like a real threat. So, yep, I'm with you. Give me the Chiefs. I can't believe I'm doing it, but I'm going to take them. Give me the Chiefs in this one. All right, Steelers and Ravens here to round out on Saturday. It is Baltimore at home and a 6.5-point favorite. Who you got here?
Wow, this is a huge game in that division.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers got shoved around last week.
They did.
That kind of surprised me. You don't see them get thumped like they did last week. I mean,
tell you what, though, that Eagles bunch, they are really good right now.
They are good.
Yeah.
They're peaking at the right time, too.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens, everybody, look at the Ravens. Well, they beat the Giants. Big deal.
Yeah. Who cares?
Must win for the Ravens. How many times do they win must wins? Not a lot.
Yeah.
But the Steelers were bad. I think the Ravens win. I'm taking the Steelers plus 6.5.
Same. I'm going to take Steelers plus 6.5. I could see the Ravens winning, but I do not lay points with the Ravens unless they're playing the Giants. All right, let's keep going now to the Giants and Atlanta. Atlanta starting a new quarterback. Michael Penix going to be in at quarterback now. Atlanta -9 against the rough and tough Giants. Who you got?
Well, what do you think about this quarterback change?
I think it's been needed for a while.
Wonder why they didn't, though, till after a win. I know it wasn't impressive, but
think they kind of thought we'll start him when we play the Giants because we'll get him off to a good start.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would have done.
All right. I just think it's a little odd. They've played 14 games. They're 7-7. It's a must win. I know it's the Giants, but the Falcons aren't 9 points better than anybody.
Except the Giants.
Well, yeah, you can't take the Giants.
No.
So I guess you have to take the Falcons. I just think the timing's a little strange because you're paying Cousins all this money. He can beat the Giants. I don't know. I just think it's weird. I just do.
It may not be like the perfect scenario. It probably needed to be done before this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I think it's a good team to get him started in. He's at home. If he struggles, you still could probably put Cousins in and come back and win.
Yeah,
so
you might.
yeah, give me Atlanta minus a 9. I mean,
Okay.
I do agree the quarterback situation ever since they drafted Michael Penix, it's been weird because they gave Cousins all that money and then they drafted him, and it's like, well, why did you do both?
I don't know.
One or the other. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens here. Give me Atlanta.
Know.
All right, the Lions coming off of a loss, go to play the Bears, and boy, I wish the Bears and the Giants would play. What a game that would be. Detroit minus 6.5 here on the road in Chicago. Who you got?
Well, Detroit is so banged up. They're suddenly running the risk they're not going to win the division. Yep. It's possible.
Yep.
They still got to play Minnesota, and it's going to come down to that. The Bears are so bad. I think the Lions cover. I think they get back and cover. They got beat by a pretty good team.
Yeah.
With a quarterback that's just playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't stop him. They just couldn't.
Boy, speaking of quarterback, how bad is Caleb Williams? He is brutal.
Yeah, why don't they bench him?
God, he's brutal.
Would he cry? Would he jump up in his mama's arms and start crying if he got benched, do you think?
I mean, he looked like he's about to cry on the sidelines last week.
He should be crying. As terrible as he is.
He is terrible. So
missing wide open receivers.
It's like he's not even seeing them. It's bad. It is bad. He's a guy, and I'm telling you right now, from the day we saw him at Oklahoma when he made his first start to currently right now, he hasn't gotten any better. He's the same guy. And I think it's because back when he was first at Oklahoma as a true freshman, he thought he was the best player to ever live. And I don't think he has any kind of work ethic, to be completely
honest. Well, he may
honest.
not. And then, he went to USC and got him real close to being in the playoffs. Had a great year his first year there. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't really his fault what happened the next year. But you start losing and things happen, and then he's not, I don't know. He's not on. How many times we see this, though? We see these guys come into the league and they're on a horrible team.
That's the thing. You gotta, I do pause and say you got to get better people around him, coaching staff. So I'm talking about, and you gotta help him a little bit. But,
does he have any playmakers?
I mean, he's got guys open. See, that's the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Are they like? Does he have an elite team around him? No, but are they bad? Not really. Like,
you're right. Players. Those guys are open.
Yeah, and you can't. I mean, anyway, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. I'll give you but Lions for both of us. All right, Browns and the Bengals, match made in heaven here. Battle of the Orange. It is the Bengals minus 7.5. Who you got in this one?
Bengals.
Me too.
I guess the Bengals have a shot still to make it. Maybe
they'd have to win out and get some help. Yeah.
Yeah. They could be 9-8, but I could see Denver being 9-8 too with that schedule they have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the tiebreakers would be. And so they still have a little bit to play for.
Yep.
So I'm going to go to the Bengals. Browns, they were abysmal against Kansas City the other day. It was really
it's incredibly funny as a Baker Mayfield supporter what is happening in Cleveland since he left.
Yeah.
They give all the money to Deshaun and he barely plays.
Oh, yeah.
They had Jacoby Brissett that one year. Joe Flacco was actually their best quarterback they've had.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year, oh my gosh, Jameis Winston, so bad. He's not lost.
The rest of the roster's not bad.
That's just it. I mean, they have a decent enough team, but my God, it's been abysmal. And now, DTR starting this week. We'll see what happens.
And what they will do is they'll fire the entire coaching staff at the end of the year for what the front office, their mistakes.
Right.
But somebody has to take the blame. And I'm not saying that coaching's good. I'm not saying that. But when you got a cancer at the quarterback position, and again, maybe the coach signed off on it too.
Yeah. I don't know.
If you got any brains at all, you don't sign the guy. I don't care what his talent is.
Yeah.
When you got that many accusations against you, Some of them are valid.
Yep.
And he's got a problem. And there's just no okay. If you want to get rid of Mayfield, all right, that's okay. But you've got to have a better option than him. And I justice is served in this one.
Yeah, 100%. And I said the same thing when it happened, and I think you did too. It's like, okay, you want to get rid of Baker, you want to go a different direction. You don't feel like you want to pay him that next salary. I get it. Like that's a decision that a lot of NFL teams make. But your backup plan can't be that.
No.
And if you remember, he had the largest guaranteed contract ever to go to Cleveland.
I think he was the highest paid quarterback when they signed him, wasn't he?
It was the highest guarantee of all time. Yeah. An unbelievably ridiculous move to do.
Yeah, and you get rid of a guy who made your franchise relevant. People actually wanted to watch the Browns play.
Right.
They were a big-time story.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he took them to the playoffs, they won a playoff game and came within a whisker of beating Kansas City.
Yep. Yep.
At Kansas City.
Couple of bad calls in that game.
Yeah.
Went against him, if you remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He played great.
Yep.
Then he got hurt. And, shouldn't have played. He should have sat out.
Yeah.
With that in, and that's we've talked about it. But
the ironic thing about it, then we're going to move on, is he got punished for trying to be tough and play.
Yeah.
Now, again, he was not good that year. I'm not defending Baker Mayfield. That was his worst year. And it all started. They were doing really well until he got hurt, and he should have sat. But the ironic thing is, the next guy they bring in was cleared to play for like 5 straight weeks and didn't play. Deshaun Watson was cleared and would not go in the game.
Yeah.
That's what's funny. And the biggest thing is their comment was, we need an adult to play quarterback in Cleveland. And that is that. I mean, the way they handled it, they deserve every bit of what they're getting right now. Every bit.
Remember when you fell? Didn't you have a torn labrum?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yes.
I remember how painful that was.
I said that. That was probably, I don't know when we were talking about Mayfield and I think it was before the season started. And I said, my left was torn.
Right. His was too.
The pain to move anything in your upper body was there. Now, obviously it wasn't as excruciating as if you moved it itself, but if I went out with how I was hurt and I threw the football, it would hurt like hell. And I can't imagine getting hit, like you're getting sacked and like it's crazy that they punished the guy.
Never let him play.
Yeah.
The training staff should have said no.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, let's go to this game because it is really probably the headliner of the whole season. The Titans on the road to take on the Colts. The Titans are a disaster. The Colts may be the biggest disaster in the league that's 6-8. That could actually, the Colts, here's the difference. Like the Titans, the Giants, the Raiders, teams like that, they just suck. The Patriots, they suck.
Yeah.
The Colts are a train wreck because they don't suck. From a talent perspective, they should be better than what they are, but they are just a mess. So anyway, they're 3.5-point favorites. Who you got here?
How can you even think about betting this game? This is skip.
Yeah.
I think I'd take Tennessee, but no, how can you bet a 3-11 team? You just stay away from this. This is ridiculous. Yeah. You don't know what the Colts are going to do.
No.
If they won that game, they would have been 7-7. Have an edge over the Broncos, who would be 8-6, and the Chargers are 8-6. They're still in the hunt.
Yep.
But you lose, and the way you lose it, how can you get ready this week? I don't know. Just don't.
They're 3.5 points better than the Titans, but that doesn't mean they're going to cover. I know that much.
Yep.
All right, well, Kevin, we've made Kevin mad. Let's make him a little more upset here. My Rams are in first place in the NFC West. My Rams, a huge win last week, but now they've got to go on the road to take on the Jets. This is a trap game. There's no doubt about it. My Rams are 3-point favorites here. We got to drive it home. We got to win these last 3 games and be in the playoffs. Give us a shot. All right, who you taking?
Well, then you got to go and play the Jets, who finally won a game.
I know it's a worrisome game.
It's not going to be easy.
No,
It's just not.
no.
Because even though you beat the Niners, you weren't real impressive on offense.
Mm-hmm.
You were on defense, and that's the key. Again, they should be favored by 5 or 6, not 3. They're better than that. They got to win. You got to take them. Yeah,
I'm taking them. Taking them. My Rams, they're making that run. They're going to do it. I'm going to go with the Rams. All right. Eagles and Commanders, really good game here. Game is at Washington. Eagles are 3.5-point favorites. Can the Commanders stop the streak and get a victory here? What do you think?
Big game for the Eagles. They're trying to get that home field advantage all through the playoffs. They're playing fantastic. They're smearing everybody. Washington's just barely winning. They're sneaking around. They're not winning easy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the Eagles because they're the hottest team in the league. I don't see any reason why they can't cover 3.5.
Yep, I'm with you. I took the Eagles in this one as well. I just think they're just better. They're a better team than the Commanders.
By the way, just on the money line only, the Rams keeps my streak going. 14 games, 9 misses on the money line.
The Rams, you gotta love it.
All
right. Gosh. Let's keep rolling. The Cardinals go on the road to take on the Panthers in this one. Yeah. We thought the Panthers might get a win last week. No. They could not do it. What about this week? Arizona -5 in this one.
Must win again. They got to get it. They still have a chance to win the division. And these are the games they don't win. I don't get them right either, ever. In fact, I don't get anybody in the West right. I get to Seattle more than I do anybody else. 5, I think they win. I'm going Carolina +5.
All right, Carolina +5 for you.
17 written all over this one.
I'll go Arizona. So I'll keep missing them every week. Yeah, I'll keep missing them every week. All right, Vikings on the road this week to take on the Seahawks. Huge game for the Seahawks, trying to keep pace with my Rams. And if my Rams were to struggle and lose, Seahawks could take back control of the division. Right. Vikings, like you said, all of a sudden they've got a chance to win their division.
They do.
They seem like they, you kind of watch them, they're struggling, and then they pull away and win every week. They're 3-point favorites on the road. Who you like? This a tough one, I think.
I think so too. Yeah. All of us, I think, are waiting for them to lose. They just don't. Darnold is making the plays, and they've got, they just, like you said, you summed it up.
Yep.
It looks like they're going to lose, and they don't.
Yep.
The Seahawks, Green Bay thumped them pretty good last week. We know they're not very good. They won some games that they really clutch. Won games. They're tough at home. I can't take it. I took Green Bay last week. I think they were only 2-point favorites, 2.5. And I think Green Bay's better than Minnesota. Minnesota's 3. Yeah. I think it's more like Vegas thinks Seattle's starting to crumble a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm going the Vikings.
I went Seattle in this one. I just kind of think Seattle's going to get them. I think the Vikings are it's that due to lose situation.
They are.
I think Seattle will get them this weekend. Give me the Seahawks. Oh boy, this is the Patriots and the Bills. This used to be fun, but not so much anymore. Bills are 14-point favorites. What do you think? I mean, this could be a little bit of a trap game, letdown game, stuff like that for the Bills. Maybe they don't cover. What do you think?
Yeah, 14's a lot. Yeah. Conference game. 17-degree weather, it says there. Looks like a wind chill of 1. So it's going to be a nice day in Buffalo. Is Allen just playing out of his mind right now? Man, he looks good.
Yeah.
And now they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl. But they can't stop anybody. How can they be the favorites to win the Super Bowl when they give up 40? I think they've given up 84 points the last 2 weeks. Of course, they've scored, 92, I think. 14. Yeah, you can't take the Patriots, can you?
No, I'm not going to. No,
No.
no. All
Oh,
right,
how
both of
about
us.
the
Yeah,
next game?
both on the Bills. All right, this is what it's all about. This when they created the NFL, this is what they had in mind.
Mhm.
The Jaguars and the Raiders. The Raiders have found the one team they would be, well, maybe there's probably two. We won't mention the other one, but the
Yeah.
one of the two teams they would be favored against. The Raiders at home
Mhm.
-1.5. Who you
Okay, they
got
would be
here?
favored at home. I doubt if they would on the road against
True,
either one of those teams.
true.
Yes. No, you just you got issues if you bet this game.
Mhm.
How can you depend on? How could you want to put money on one of these teams? Remember when we used to talk about betting bad teams?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you got two bad teams, so no, you're
Uh,
crazy if you bet this game. Maybe bet the under.
who do you think wins it for real?
I don't know. The Raiders, I watched them the other night because I wanted them to beat Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Dennis, you probably are betting
Oh, he
700.
will. He's a
Yeah.
sick individual. Yeah.
I'll
think
take
the
the Raiders.
I think the Raiders are going to win. I'm with you. All right. We're both on the Raiders in this one.
Yeah.
All right. 49ers and the Dolphins show up in this one. The Dolphins are a 1-point favorite. Pretty much a throwaway game.
It
here.
is.
Who you got?
Yeah. What do you think the 49? You think they'll make some changes in the offseason, or are they just going to blame this one on injuries and just a dismal season? Sometimes this happens.
I don't know. I
Is
I
this
think
the
they'll
end
make
of
some
Brock
changes.
Purdy, you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Are they going to start thinking he had like a 3 or 4 year window and he's
Maybe.
reached as good as he's going to be?
Maybe.
I mean, is he going to take the heat for this? I mean, they have been banged up.
They're pretty banged up. I will say this. I don't think it's fair to put the heat on Brock Purdy, but it might be a good opportunity to be like, okay, let's go do something.
We're going to find out what they really think about him.
Yeah, because now you just can't get rid of him when they're winning like that. But now you might be able to get. There is no might. You will be able to get away, go in a different direction if they want to do that.
So we're going to see how level-headed they are because injuries, they've lost key players. It's not just rinky dinks; it's key players.
Yes,
and it's hurt them, and they can't get out of their own way. And then you have the Dolphins, and how do you pick them again? I guess you take Miami because they're at home, but neither team gives a shit in this one. I guess the Niners aren't theoretically out of it, but they are when you get right down to it. So
they're out. They're out. Yeah,
I think so too. And so is Miami. So, well, Miami's 2 games behind the Chargers.
They're out.
I agree. So it's a nothing game. So how do you bet a nothing game? You don't bet a nothing game. You just say, forget it. Let's go find another one.
Yeah, take the home team as if you're going to play it.
If you want to bet them, yeah.
That's about all I would tell you on that.
Yep.
One. All right, huge game for Tampa here. They're 4-point favorites on the road against Dallas. It's a must-win game. Tampa, it feels like pulling teeth winning these games, but they're doing it. I'm really nervous about this.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Dallas played good last week. You got to hand it to that coaching staff.
Yep.
The way they lost the game the week before, which pretty much eliminated any playoff hopes they had.
Yep.
And then to go into Carolina, and Carolina had been playing pretty good, and to win, and they won pretty easy.
Yeah.
I think they deserve a lot of credit for getting that team ready to play. They could have dogged that, and nobody would have said anything, really.
Nope.
And that was, losing that game, or if they'd have won that Indianapolis game, they'd be 7-7. They'd have a chance maybe to.
Maybe.
Not really. Well, they probably not.
Yeah.
Because it was Minnesota and Detroit and Green Bay having such great records, and then Washington's the other one. They'd still be 2 games back. Anyway, man, I'm with you. Tampa wins this, they're going to win the division because they finish up with New Orleans and Carolina at home.
Yep.
If they lose and Atlanta wins,
they're
going to be tied. and Atlanta has the tiebreaker. This is a monster game. They'll be ready. I am going to take them because I don't want to root against them with a bet. So they're better. You got to admit, they're playing good.
Mm-hmm. They are. Yeah.
Baker is playing lights out.
Yep.
Mike Evans, unbelievable.
Yeah, he's great. He's a great player. Yeah.
They got that little running back that's come out of nowhere. I can't think of his name. What is his name? Irvin?
Yeah, the number 7 kid. He's really good. Yeah.
Really good.
Yep.
Their defense is playing better.
Yep.
If they don't turn it over and hang it, I think they win. I think they're better than Dallas. They can't turn it over. They can't give them points. Their defense has to play good. Their offense is good enough against that Dallas defense to score some points. So I'm going to take them to win it.
I'm going to take Tampa as well. This is when you blew those games against Atlanta, this is your fate now.
Yes.
You can't, this is a game you can't mess up in, and same with the next 2 weeks. So,
and the other thing is too, I don't know whether you paid attention much this week, but they're getting an awful lot of media attention.
I know. Yep.
I don't like that either. I liked it when they were under the radar.
Me too.
But have you noticed? I really think, I didn't think this 2 or 3 years ago, but I think the press, the media wants Baker to do well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were against him before because they all predicted he wouldn't do well in the NFL, but he's kind of won them over with the way he's resurrected his career.
I think they also kind of like to bag on Cleveland, you know?
Yeah, that could be too.
And I think that I think a lot of them think this is really funny, you know?
Well, what gets me is his personality. Again, if you don't know him and or I don't know him, but if you don't know about him like we do, he comes across as an arrogant asshole. Yeah. And he is arrogant. That's his persona.
Right.
But you ever notice they don't call him Mayfield? All of them call him Baker.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So he's won them over.
Mm-hmm.
It's Baker this and Baker that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking Oklahoma media. We're talking national media.
Yep.
I listen to Rich Eisen a lot. I really like him.
Yep.
And he's been behind Baker for the last 2 or 3 weeks. And it's Baker this and Baker that. So anyway, come on, Bucks, get this one.
I hope they do. I think they will. I think it'll be like pulling teeth again, but I do think they'll get it. I think they'll get it. Yeah. All right, final one, and it's not great. The Saints go on the road to take on the Packers on Monday night. Look, I don't know. To me, the Saints without Derek Carr, they're horrific. And to go on the road, I don't think they have any shot. What about you?
No, I don't either. With Derek Carr, they're not bad.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like, yeah, they fired the coach, and it's whatever. Like, that happens. But when Carr was in the game this year, they're a tough beat.
They are. They could be playing for the division if he had played.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's arguable. I think they're better than Atlanta with him.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it is what it is. 14 is a lot, but they don't have a quarterback. I think Green Bay romps them at home.
Yep. I'm with you. I'm with you on that one as well. All right. Well, that's it for that. Anything else?
What? We've overlooked the obvious.
What's that?
OU basketball.
Yes, basketball. We are one of 4 undefeated teams left and pulled off a miracle win last night against Michigan. Yes.
It's time we had a miracle win.
Yeah.
In basketball.
Yep.
But the exciting thing about it is they got a superstar. If he doesn't hit the wall, you gotta admit that kid is good.
Is he a superstar?
He's gonna be.
Okay. All right. He is a freshman.
Yeah, and he's a young freshman.
Well, it probably means he'll be at like North Carolina or Duke next year.
Or the pros.
Well, that could. Hopefully, it's the pros.
We're not going to have him next year. We're going to have to like this year.
Right. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Because we're not going to be able to call up some. Well, we got some rich alums.
Yeah, Fears he's good. He's very
Trey Young could divvy up some money.
Mm-hmm.
Blake Griffin.
Yep.
We got a couple of guys. Buddy's probably making pretty good money. Buddy Hield.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you're right. But that was a great win last night. It was luck. Yes.
Yeah.
He makes that shot 1 out of 20.
Yeah.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
But they were beat 2 or 3 times.
Definitely.
They got players.
Yeah, no, they've got talent. They've got offensive talent for the first time
They haven't had
a
that.
billion years, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. Fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they got a game, I don't know when it's Sunday, maybe. Yeah. There'll be, I don't know, 750 people there probably.
I want you to take a guess because I looked it up today. How much a ticket is to get in?
I know what it is. It's $5.
You know, 2.
It's down to 2 because it's Sunday. Yeah. And the girls play before them.
Yes.
It's a double header.
Take a guess how much it is to sit on the floor for this game.
10?
$36.
36 for
to sit on the floor.
There ain't a bad seat in that place anyway.
No.
$2.
$2 gets you in.
And I don't know whether it's back to back or there's probably a break between the girls and the guys.
Yeah.
Their combined records are like 22-1.
Yeah. Both in the top 15.
They might draw 1,000.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The
foes the teams are playing aren't any good.
The highest price ticket for the top section is $5. So you could sit center court up top for $5.
This is just awful.
It's embarrassing.
It is. And then it's just I can't believe. I mean, okay. If you haven't seen which on this chat, who the hell would?
Yeah.
The girls, if you like girls basketball at all, they're fun to watch.
So on the subject of this, so I saw this too. There's still plenty of seats available through the venue for the Penn State game. Interested to see what the playoffs or what the attendance will be in these playoff games. So I have a theory on this.
Okay.
So the first year that Saratoga extended their meet, where they started it like 2 weeks earlier than usual, I went. So the very first day, opening day, I went. Opening day at Saratoga, there's usually 40,000 people there. So we went, and there was like 10. And I'm asking around. I'm like, what is going on? And guys that are there every day, or live up there during the meet, they were talking to us, and they go, people, this is tradition. People have built-in traditions of weekends that they come.
Well, that's true.
When you break tradition that's 100 years old, this is what you get. Could that happen here, where people for 100 years plus get the college football schedule and go, okay, here's the 6 Saturdays we're going to the games? And it's like, this is like, I don't know. I don't know that I can make it. I didn't block off the time to go. I didn't expect this, I think that's possible.
Did they raise? That doesn't look like they raised the ticket prices.
No, that's why I came back to this. You could get into, now this is a college football playoff game. You could get into
Penn State. At
Penn State for $40. That's that. And look, Texas, $66.
They don't know. They don't always sell out their stadium, though.
But still, that's cheap.
It's cheap. Yeah.
Ohio State, $98.
No, that's what a regular season ticket probably costs.
Yeah, exactly. Now the Notre Dame, $496. I mean, I would imagine the Indiana factor to it, and it's Notre Dame. I mean, I would imagine that's drove up that ticket quite a bit.
Could the possibility that it's so close to Christmas cause some issues?
Yes, I think that's the deal. I think it nobody's used to doing it. It's close to Christmas. Like, it doesn't fit into the normal schedule that people are used to.
Okay, well, let's look at the one we're the most familiar with it of all.
Mm-hmm.
And this is OU.
Yep.
There's no way it wouldn't be packed.
Yeah.
There's no way. This would be a monster game.
Yeah, I would think so. No kids on campus. That is something that is
I
mean, that's 10,000 tickets, 5 to 10,000 tickets.
At OU it is, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's
You
something.
can't sell 10,000.
I would think OU's would sell out immediately, but maybe we're wrong because look, it's not like Penn
this
State.
is big time teams.
I was gonna say it's not like Penn State, Texas, and Ohio State is
No.
nothing. I mean,
And Notre Dame, of course, Notre Dame's
yeah,
$496 for a ticket, but
right. Yeah.
yeah. Oh no, these are. I will say this: Texas does not sell out their stadium every game, but Penn State does. Ohio State does.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
It
Well,
is.
you think about it, you got Christmas gatherings, you've got Christmas shopping, you've got it's an extra game to pay more money for. It's this is interesting.
Well, I remember, and I know you do too. We were going. OU was first game of the season, and they were going to go down and play Tulane at Tulane. And remember, they had that hurricane come through, and it was deemed that they could not play the game in Tulane, so they moved it up to Oklahoma. Now it was 6 days. There was not a lot of time,
right.
But it was a Saturday. It was played during the day, like in about what half the stadium was full.
True.
So maybe, I mean, I know it's playoff and there's more time, and you could have planned it, and that's not exactly the same situation, but at the same time, it was a situation where nobody planned to do it, and then all of a sudden it was there, and we went, and a lot of us went, but it wasn't. It was half full. So I don't know.
I don't know. This is strange.
Yeah. Another thing, and this is, I think, a real thing too. Conference championship. There's 3 rounds of this. Are people saving and trying to hopefully go to the later rounds? Is that something that's happening? I don't know the answer.
Are they asking fans or forcing fans?
So if you look at, I haven't looked at these. This will be the first time. You look at the later round tickets right now, 166 for the game that Boise will be
in. Look at the next one.
Holy cow, $1,700? Why?
Okay, they're going to either play Texas or Clemson.
Why would that be?
The only way I could say $1,740 if they're going to play Georgia, because
that's not going to happen. So
no, that's what I'm saying.
That's got to be wrong or something.
Has to be.
I'll look into that here in just a second.
No,
the Oregon game, 321. That's the Rose Bowl, and then and in New Orleans, Georgia, that game they're going to be in is 243. So those are more normally priced, I would say, other than this one, obviously. All right, we got to click on this.
I can't believe that.
That has to be a misprint. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Live on the air here. We're pulling up ticket price of our game. We have no interest.
Want to go?
Okay, no, it is wrong.
No,
$82.
Maybe all of these are invalid. We're reading.
No, I don't think so. I don't know why that came up like that. Yeah, $82. Looks like the cheapest is $82. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let's say it's Texas versus Arizona State. That will not be sold out.
I would doubt. Yeah, Texas versus Arizona State in Atlanta. I would not think that's going to be a sold out game. No
way.
Yeah.
Now the Rose Bowl, Oregon against Tennessee or Ohio State, that will be pretty full.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's now
Georgia will send the whole state down to north.
Now I'm curious. I've got to see $40. So these are accurate. I don't know why that wasn't accurate.
Beef up on those.
Yeah, $40.
Well, those games are not relevant at the moment. We got to get these others done first. So
let's make sure that this is truly
$494.
Yeah.
That
seems all accurate. Yeah.
That seems awfully high
for the Notre Dame. Yeah. I would. If an OU ticket was $500, I would not go. I could tell you that much now.
What do you think an OU ticket? I bet it'd be $200.
Yeah,
at a home game.
I'd say $150 to $200. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yep.
And Curtis, made a good point about the students. Well, when they're not there, it gives some of the people who can't get tickets a chance to get them, and the seats are pretty good.
Yeah,
where the students are.
I think it is. I think it's a valid point for sure.
Yeah,
but I also agree with you said. I think, and again, it's all speculation. I think at Oklahoma, at least, they would sell those tickets pretty quickly, but maybe not.
Maybe not. You're right, though. People are set in their ways.
I think
it's terribly unfair to make fans who have to buy season tickets at Kansas City play on
Yeah.
Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're obligated to go because you paid for the ticket,
Mm-hmm.
but there goes your Christmas plans. I don't think the pros should be playing on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
I don't and then on Netflix of all other, oh my God, that's
Yep.
another story.
All right, we got to get to the main event. We got to get to the drones. So, if you're living under a rock and you don't know, drones are everywhere. They're popping up New Jersey. They've been in the hundreds, popping up other places. But we have breaking news. A drone was spotted last night in Joplin, Missouri by somebody on this stream. It was not me. So explain what
I
you
don't
saw.
know if it was a drone. Okay.
Okay,
We're
explain
coming
what it
back.
was.
Now
Explain what it
listen,
was.
it was not an airplane.
Okay.
It was the funniest looking thing I've ever seen in the sky. Now, this is at night.
Sounds like a drone so far. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're coming back. We went over to this place to see the Christmas lights.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
No alcohol had been consumed
Okay.
at that point.
Okay.
Iced tea had been consumed.
Okay.
We're going back to the casino. So we're about 15 miles from the casino when the person I'm with says, and she's all over these drones, by the way.
Well, so am I. So go ahead.
Okay. She's really worried about them.
I am too.
But anyway, so she goes, look at that. What do you think that is? And I said, well, maybe an airplane because we weren't close enough to it yet. And it was kind of heading across the interstate towards where the airport is.
Okay.
So I get to watching it and the lights are all funny looking. It's like a flying saucer kind of thing.
What were there green and red?
Yes.
Lights?
Yes.
It's a drone. All right. Keep going.
So I said, honey, I think that's a drone.
Exactly.
I said, so we got to watching it. Okay. So we're, the interstate's pretty straight.
Yeah. Yes.
Going through there. Well, it goes across the interstate and it stays right about the same height. It's not going down because I'm still thinking maybe that's an airplane, but it's not going down.
Yeah. Because the airport's a little bit over the interstate. It would start to go down. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going fast enough.
Okay.
In fact, at one time I thought it wasn't moving at all.
Mm.
So we're
Hovering.
keeping an eye on it. We're getting closer to the interstate or to the casino, to downstream. Suddenly we look up. It's on the other side of the interstate.
Okay.
It's like it turned its lights off and went on to the other side of the interstate. And she goes, well, we did kind of make just a little curve. I said, no, we didn't. We didn't curve that much. It couldn't have done that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then we see it again. It's on the other side of the interstate. And it's just like it just kind of fades away. Strangest thing I've ever seen. And it was big. It was big.
Okay. You said this was a large drone or a large
lit up object in the sky that looked like a flying saucer or like one of those. Okay. It reminded me of the lunar module that landed on the moon. It's kind of like a spidery looking thing. No. Once again.
That's a drone.
Huh?
It's a drone. What? That's what
I know. Once again, no alcohol had been consumed at this point.
All right. Well,
Very little was consumed the entire night, by the way.
Okay. I want to make a couple things clear. Him and I have not talked about the subject at all. No. 1 minute before we go on the air, I said, what do you think about these drones? And he goes, yeah, was that what that was last night? I said,
you'd seen one. I said,
what are you talking about? He goes, I saw one there. It was here last night.
Wow. I didn't know if it was a drone, but I saw something that looked like a drone.
Wow.
And so she goes, well, where are the stealth bombers? Isn't there a place where the stealth bombers are in Missouri? And I said, yeah, it's up around Kansas City. They used to have them. And she goes, well, maybe I said, no, that's too far away. It couldn't be that.
No, I wouldn't think.
And I was trying to think of another place that was close, but there isn't any place where there's a base. Well, Fort Leonard Wood, but that's Army.
Yeah, and that's too far.
And then there's one in Norman or Midwest City.
That's too far. All of them
Too far.
away. Yeah, too far away. You're for sure it was large, so large.
Yes, it was large.
Some idiot with it. Okay. Yeah.
No. Now her brother thinks he thinks it's aliens.
I don't think it's aliens.
She doesn't either.
No, well, I think it's us. I think we're looking for something.
I've been hearing is there is a nuclear bomb that's lost somewhere in New Jersey, and they're looking for that.
I've heard.
Have you heard that?
Yes, I've heard.
Okay.
This. Yeah.
Why are they in Missouri?
Yeah. Can I add to the? Can I add? Can I add to the conspiracy?
I don't have a conspiracy.
And now listen to this. This is wild. This just happened.
Well, let me tell you one more thing.
No, you got. Hold on.
Okay,
you can, but let me tell you. Let me tell you something that just happened to this live stream right now.
Oh, okay.
Twitter has cut us off. Twitter, we are no longer broadcasting live on Twitter. It just cut.
We were broadcasting live.
Yes, it cut. I swear to God.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to call her on this one and tell her what happened.
Twitter just cut this live stream off.
This is weird.
So there you go. I'm gonna screenshot it just so.
Who in the world? How would that happen?
People don't think I'm lying.
Somebody's listening to this, or there's something we're talking about that
I will tell you this. I'm
honored.
I've streamed for I don't know how long. Since COVID, we've had this. We've used this system, right? Never have I been cut off of any platform ever until right now. So there you have it.
Wow.
There you go. You may have spotted something they really didn't want you to see.
Oh, I got it. Well, she goes, doesn't this worry you? And I said, no. She goes, why? And I said, they're not in Missouri.
Well,
when they get here, then I might worry about it a little bit. Bingo, we get shut out of Twitter because we're Elon's listening to us.
I think so.
Elon Musk. I am honored, piece of shit. I am honored. Oh God. They may strike you down now.
I know. Well, no, we're not live.
We have been shut
down.
Are we? That is the weirdest thing ever.
We're still on Facebook and we're still on YouTube, but Twitter has shut it down. So there you go. I'm reading what it's giving me an error message here. I don't know. I'll try to reconnect this.
What does it say?
We're having trouble streaming to X. This may be an issue on X's end. We'll keep trying. We'll let you know if it's resolved. Please check. Just blah blah blah. Just standard stuff. I keep trying to reconnect it. It will not reconnect. So
this is a first.
Oh, okay. I just got it reconnected. Okay.
Well, maybe it's a coincidence. I would a lot rather you didn't say we're still not reconnected, because then I would feel honored.
It's just weird. Anyway, what were you going to say?
Nothing.
You had something.
I already said it.
Oh, what'd you say? I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to figure out.
You said, are you worried about him? And I said, no.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Not until she goes, well, there has been one sighted in Missouri, she said.
Mm-hmm. I'd be worried.
What are you worried about?
Because there's something going on. There's something going on.
You're not okay.
Something's happening.
All right. Do you not think we don't know what they are?
We 100% know.
Okay.
We 100% know. Yes.
So what should the government do?
Tell us what's going on. Tell us what's happening.
Well, maybe they are baiting whatever this is.
I don't know. It could be. It could be.
That's what I'm thinking. They know what they are, and they're trying to wait for these aliens to make a mistake.
So I didn't really take it too serious. And then I listened to this a wrestling show, the Jim Cornette show, and his co-host lives in New Jersey, and these are two very.
Yeah, I know they're really worried about.
Well,
Wait a
these
minute.
are what? Go ahead.
Mine just came up. Oh, did you send that to me? We're having trouble streaming to
Yeah,
X. It
yeah, I
just came
sent it
up
to
on
you.
mine. My
Oh no,
page.
I did not send that to you. No. So
Yeah.
it's on yours.
Nothing ever comes up on my end.
There you go. So I listen. Yeah, Cornette. So he's wrestling, but I mean his show's
I heard him
it's the best
before.
show on the internet. It doesn't matter if you like wrestling or not. Anyway, his co-host Brian Last lives in New Jersey, lives right where this is happening. So
Yeah.
Brian Last was talking about it, and I'm like, okay, no, this is real because he's not an idiot. Like he's like, my neighborhood, one of my friends texted me and said, it's out here. I don't know what it is. He said, I went out there. He's like, I'm telling you right now, it's not a plane. It was a drone. It was huge. And we've been seeing them like crazy. So,
yeah. Well, this was bigger than a plane. I mean, the light type thing. I don't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
No, you could. It was weird looking.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Well, I didn't think you would have
I wish
spotted
I'd have
one.
pulled over and taken a picture of it now.
What time did you spot it? What time was it?
8:00.
Okay. So it wasn't even that late. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it was. No, maybe an 8:30.
Yeah. But it wasn't midnight.
No, it was not late. No, can't stay out that late.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it was cool though.
Mm-hmm.
This is mine keeps going flashing off here. These little notices I'm getting. You're live and then you're off. And now you're live and then you're off. I think that's trying to tell us something.
Same.
You better shut your mouth.
It's doing the same thing for me. It's been off and on probably 3 times
You
since
better
we've been
shut
talking.
your mouth. What I'm thinking.
All right. Well,
the racing dudes. Holy moly.
Yeah. Well, we finally ended the business, I think, today. So, all right. So here's what we've got going on. Hopefully it's not a Twitter glitch and we are live tonight.
Yeah.
It is the Fantasy League draft tonight. So that's going to be happening at 7:00 Central Time. Fantasy League draft, the annual Fantasy League. This will be the 12th year we've done it.
Do we still have the same teams?
Yeah, same teams. We added Kevin B to Jared's team. So Kevin B's in the league.
Why would you do that?
Well, because they think they're friends, but Kevin B will learn soon. And then Vinny has been given a team, an addition to the team. Dennis. So it'll be Vinny and Dennis on a team. And
he
already a lot of arguments.
Vinny texted me this morning. He goes, "You ain't gonna believe who's on my team."
You got that message too.
That's not true.
No, there's been a lot of fighting amongst teams there.
Really?
Between Vinny and Dennis. Yes. I've seen a lot of fighting.
I can imagine that one.
Yes. Two very, very strong opinioned people. So that's why I put those together.
It's going to have to be must watch tonight.
I think that team will be fun for sure.
I am not girling tonight. So
I
will be available.
7:00. Yeah.
What time
I don't know. I kind of think we should go out and look for the drone again.
I will.
I think I will go take a drive after the Fantasy League actually to see. I want to see this. I want to see that again.
Well, I think I can go out the front and see out that way where I saw. I think I could probably see that
probably
from where I live.
You know, we probably could
so
too.
Flat.
We probably could too, actually.
No, you got trees.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, we'd have to go. Maybe go to the hospital. We could see. Okay, hold on. Was it a helicopter? You're sure it wasn't a helicopter?
No, I know what a helicopter looks like. This thing wasn't moving like a normal airplane or helicopter. It was hovering.
Yeah.
Like a freaking flying saucer from Mars.
Okay. All righty. Okay. Well, listen, I'll be like the government, say, "Oh no, you're not seeing that." It's like, okay, yeah.
I didn't really think too much about it till now, but
thousands of people are seeing them, and they're like, "Oh, they're just airplanes." It's like, okay.
No, they're not. That was not an airplane. I've seen airplanes.
Hence my situation.
I started to call Madison and have her track the plane, like. Somebody told me that site's kind of down now too.
I haven't checked it.
Okay.
I'll ask her on that. I contacted Madison about the drone activity, and she was not worried. So
Well, then I'm okay. I feel better.
Feel a little better about it, but
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm going to get out of here. I got a lot of work to do. Get ready for the draft. We'll see everybody tonight for the draft. Like I said, 7:00 Central Time. Should be a lot of fun. I know Shotty Dennis will be live. I'm sure Vinny will be around as well. So should be.
Is Shotty, her, Davey still there?
Shotty and Davey still a team.
Aren't they defending champions?
No, they not. No, they won 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay.
Yes, it was.
Who's the defending champ?
Geist Paddle was the winner last year. You've never met him before.
Okay.
He's not usually on the shows. He's more
back.
of a website fan. Yeah.
He's back for the defense of his championship.
He is back. back. Yes. Right. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here for now. We will be back tonight with that show. Everybody have a good weekend. Enjoy the games. Should be a fun next couple of days. And we'll see you right back here next week.